successful if the communities doesn't get involved as well, right? So would you like to share what are their roles and what are your challenges over there?
Right, thank you very much, Fad. Now, advocacy, yeah. So, but before I answer your question, now let's take a reality check on what's happening today. Scientists predict that by the end of the century, we are going to hit 3 degrees Celsius of global warming. So imagine that today, we are about 1.1, 1.2 degrees Celsius for global warming. We already see a lot of catastrophes going around the world, right? Some are unprecedented. So, having said that, all of us must feel the pain of climate change. We all should feel the pain of climate change before we go into the solutioning space. All of us need to feel the urgency of solutioning for climate change. Yeah. Now, right. Having said that, we have the moral obligation to address climate issues. That is one side of the coin. But the other side of the coin is that energy transitioning presents us with value creation opportunities for innovation, that is, and technologies development. At the COP28, as I'm sure all of you have heard, that they had set 2 new targets. Some of the targets amongst those are 2, which the first one is tripling renewable energy capacity. And the second one is doubling energy efficiency rate by 2030. Just like Alex said, hey, 2030 is not too far from today. Yeah? So tripling the renewable energy capacity is not so, we're not too worried about that because everybody is going towards that. We're talking about natural gas, we're talking about green hydrogen, we're talking about CCS. Yeah? But what is more worrying and more challenging would be the energy efficiency part. Because we say that we need to double energy efficiency rate by 2030, but in 2024, last year, the statistics show that, reported in IEA, that we are 1% below the historical average. So it means that we are moving backwards with regard to energy efficiency. So what are we going to do about that, right? So before we go to advocacy, we need to come up with solutioning, right? So one of the things is that we need innovations and we need technologies that are fast enough to help us with the energy efficiency. But of course, we need the whole society approach when it comes to advocacy. So whole society approach, that would mean that we need to look at the mindset. Energy efficiency is about how often do you look at into the temperature of the aircon that you use, for example, the air conditioning of the room, for example, and we need a lot of mindset change, a lot of culture change, shaping of the culture of the community. So that would be the whole society approach when it comes to energy efficiency. And also, as I said earlier, we need low carbon technologies very fast, and we need also energy efficiency technologies very fast. At UTP, we have 3 institutes looking into innovations: Institute of Smart and Sustainable Living, Institute of Sustainable Energy, looking in, and also emerging technologies and digital technologies, and looking at, for example, green hydrogen, looking at, for example, CCS. We also look into fusion nuclear power. So we just signed an MOU with China recently in terms of advancing fusion nuclear power. So we need this systemic approach, when it comes to stronger strikes with impact. So coming back to your question just now, when we say systemic approach, it means that we need all the key players to be together in, for example, an alliance. At UTP, for example, we had formed what we call as Energy Transition Malaysian Alliance back in 2021, 2022. During that time, energy transition was not yet the buzzwords, 2021. So, there are 15 council members altogether, CEO of Sarawak Energy, CEO of Sabah Energy, SMJ. We had also government agencies like MIDA, SEDA, to look into the green incentives. And the council members sat every quarterly. And we also had government agencies in there and NGOs in there. So we sat every quarterly, and the CEOs actually made time, the Malaysian CEOs just made time to actually talk about technologies choices, talk about advocacy, talk about talent development, and that would be one of the ways to look into advocacy for energy transitioning. would say that, Fat, to close up, one is we need systemic approach in energy transitioning collaboration. And the second one is a whole society approach when it comes to energy efficiency. And finally, action-oriented beyond advocacy through joint innovation action. So thank you.
Okay, so